Hey guys, it's Brendan the Paleo Dude, and welcome back to another Jurassic World unboxing and review video. Today we'll be taking a look at the Hammond Collection True Effects Stygimoloch, Troodon, and Velociraptor. I did end up getting 5 of the Troodon and 3 of the Raptor, which we will unbox in a later video. So first we'll start off with the Stygimoloch. This is the best Stygimoloch figure that we have ever gotten in the Jurassic lineup. It looks incredible. The details on the horns and the face are just so nice. It says on here, trapped at the Lockwood estate, Owen Grady devises a plan to put the domed head of Stygimoloch to use. With a combination of whistling and wall breaking, Owen is able to free himself, Claire Deering, and Stygimoloch. Free himself, Claire Deering, and the Stygimoloch from their caged cells. That's really cool. That's very nice. I love that little detail on the box, and there's Stygimoloch breaking through the brick wall. That was such a fun and cheesy scene. Let's cut this open. It says True FX, premium details for enhanced realism. Okay, that's interesting. New thing they put on the boxes. It's of course cater to the photography collectors. Wow, the colors are so nice. Look at all the paint detail on that. Got paint on the tail, paint on the arms. Let's free it from all these little plastic tabs. So many of them. There's one on the foot here. I'm doing it from this side so I don't actually cut the figure itself. I think that's all of them. Pop it out. There we go. Yeet the package. Let's pop that tail in. Wow, there's actually some additional, like, kind of dark blue lines along with the dark brown, or almost like a bluey green going down the body. That's very interesting. There's the little glass eye. They've got the pupil on the outside. It's got this nice orange to it. The beak closes pretty well. And there's so much color and paint on the horns, on the nose horn especially. Wow. The neck articulation is also really nice. You can face it down in a ramming pose. The leg articulation just has the knee, and halfway down the foot there's no ankle articulation, which is pretty interesting, but I feel like it would serve more posability if we did have it, but nonetheless the figure is fantastic. There's belly, stomach, under neck painting, nice paint on the tail too, and the range of articulation that you can get out of the head is also fantastic. You can make it look around. Yeah, definitely a figure that is worth picking up just for the screen accuracy. That is really nice. If we compare it to the first Stygimoloch toy that came out from Mattel, this figure kind of has, the dark purple on the back, but the patterns are really much the same. It's got that lighter cream on the back of the leg, and the horns are painted and whatnot. Obviously this is a major upgrade, but you can see the proportions and stuff stayed pretty much the same. They got it right the first time, which is really cool. And then later we did get a, I guess, more accurate darker coloration in this brown, where it had the color on the bottom of the jaw here, like this one, and then eventually migrated to this dark red. So that's great. Let's take a look at my favorite dinosaur from the franchise, the Troodon. Now there are several things they did right and did wrong with this figure, and I'm pretty sure they had to do this stylization as maybe they didn't have the rights to make it 100% like the Telltale game, or maybe they didn't want to because it didn't fit, I guess, the realism of the live action franchise. So maybe this is their idea of what a canon Troodon in the movies would look like. But nonetheless, it does look really nice. You can see it sports that white eye, and the previous figure that they made of it did not have that, and that was a major nitpick. This one here, but this one does not have the red underbelly. They put some red on the tip of the nose and some red on the back, but they should have put that down on the throat here. It says Troodons are small carnivores with big eyes, sharp teeth, and poisonous bite. After releasing their venom, Troodons use their speed to take down much larger prey. I'm glad that they included the poisonous bite. That is great. That's a great nod to the Telltale game. And then this horrendous Velociraptor Photoshop on the front. They could have definitely had it just completely custom drawn like the Spinosaurus. The head does not look like Troodon's head. At least they got the quills, but yeah, no, the teeth, the coloration, definitely very much off with that. The neck's very long. It's got a very, very long neck, interestingly enough. I would have liked if they put more effort into the head shape being a little bit more similar to the Telltale game one, with the teeth sticking out the sides. I think that was very creepy and iconic to have the big eyes and those exaggerated teeth, but maybe it didn't really fit their vision of what they wanted it to look like in real life, I guess. But we do have dinosaurs with the teeth that stick out, like the Indominus Rex, the Scorpius Rex, Indoraptor, etc. So it's interesting that they have the teeth on the inside like that, more like a real dinosaur would, with lips covering them up. And I mean, that does look nice, because that looks like Troodon, right? The head shape's very Troodon-esque, and the lips, of course, add to that. But it would have been nice to have the teeth on the outside. I guess people who make customs will probably eventually get like 3D printed head replacements for it and whatnot. But for now, I guess I don't mind it too much. The teeth are still pretty sharp. Got a lot of them in there. It just doesn't scream Telltale Troodon. At least from a distance, it's recognizable. Now the tail has a very interesting socket. Actually, it's reversed on this one compared to most. The tail should also have quills sticking up out of it on the tip here. That's something that it's missing for sure. That would have added to its Telltale aesthetic. And I mean, they didn't do that on the mainline figure either, but they did get the quills on the neck and the back pretty much the same. The only difference is they did have this red underbelly. Well, they made it pink, but they could have had that on this figure, and that would have gone so much further than having like this orange on the back and on the nose. Just placing that on the neck and under the jaw here would have been like phenomenal. So in terms of I guess accuracy to Telltale, they did include this beautiful white eye and white pupil, which is a fantastic detail. That, at least, I'm so glad they did. If they had a normal eye, it would have just felt so wrong, so off. But including that white eye, wow, I love it. And it, I'm not sure if it's exaggerated in size or not. I think it's a little bigger than what we see in the Velociraptor, just by a bit. But a little bit more exaggeration on the eye size would have been fantastic. The neck is posable, I think. Yep, I think there's a little wire in there. Doesn't stay posed that much, but you can still kind of curve it, which is nice. There's also 2 points of articulation at the knee and at the foot here. The foot is black and or kind of like a dark green almost, but more black than anything. And then this like dark brown black spotting all over the leg down the tail, a little bit on the arms, all over the neck, and around the head. This orange, I like it. I actually hate to say it, it is nice, but it's not the same as the red underbelly that the original had. It would have been a lot nicer even if they just moved that orange down here, or if they had this red, maybe it would look a little weird if it had red here and on the nose, but nonetheless, it's not terrible, it's not awful, it's just pretty noticeable if you do pay attention to the games. And then this little dew claw is also really nice, a little touch there. So this figure is quite decent for what it is. Like, it's fully detailed, it has all the fun features, just kind of the wrong details. It's still full of details, and the posability allows for so many fun ways of taking photography or putting them on your shelf. I feel like this guy is going to be very fun, having a huge pack of it to do like nighttime photography and stuff. I'll have to figure out how to do that. But yeah, it's very tall, very lanky. I think the leg height is way taller than what we see in the previous figure, which is pretty short. And these guys are supposed to be tiny. They should be at least half the size of this figure, but now we see like this massive Troodon. Yeah, but they are this big in the Jurassic World live tour, which is also kind of like the same type of canon as the Telltale games, so maybe it's like a cross between the two, the Jurassic World live tour head and size, and then some of the details of the Telltale one. So finally we've got the Velociraptor. So this guy is very neat. It has a interesting orange coloration to it. So, wait, where'd the package go? On the box it says this. I've got a little image of it there. It says, with distinct and dramatic coloring, the Velociraptors on Isla Sorna are leaping into action. Despite these unique attack abilities, Dr. Sarah Harding, Dr. Ian Malcolm, and his daughter are able to make a daring escape. And then it shows this scene with Velociraptor and them looking at it. So that's really neat that they've got that on the box. Kind of wish they had the Telltale imagery on the box. That would have been fun, but it's the only one that, of course, wasn't in a movie. So the Velociraptor has 2 points of articulation down the leg, not including the hip as well. The toes are fully painted, which is nice. The leg has paint on both segments, and the arm also has painting on both segments. That's really nice. Oh my goodness. We got this fantastic orange eye, or yellow eye. The rest of the body's orange, and then this lighter orange spray on the back with all these lines going over top of it. The underbelly is fully painted, but the tail is not on the bottom, only on the top. And the sculpt is so much nicer than we have on the previous Raptor figure. The teeth especially stand out as being molded separately and not just like a toothbrush comb, which is nice. And the feet, of course, are half the size. It doesn't have big clown feet. I think the hands are very much similar. And the tail is, yeah, the same length. So this is a great figure. It's a little, I don't know, too bright orange. I like the render on the box. That's really nice. Even the little like eye bag underneath is a cool detail. I would have liked a more natural orange. This is a little bit too yellowy, but something in between that would have been cool. I still really like this Camp Cretaceous figure of the Tiger Raptor. Definitely does a great job making it feel a bit more natural. And then the original from the first Legacy collection, its arms are very bright yellow. But yeah, this is definitely the best tiger raptor I think that we're gonna get. So it's worth picking it up if you're a pack builder. Pick up a few, and they're gonna be great for photography, fully posable, and just make sure that the jaw is not too long on your figure. I had to pick out, there's a bunch of them with jaws sticking out. This one had it where I could see that the jaw wasn't super elongated. And sometimes all it takes is just pushing it back and up and in, because that jaw socket kind of comes out. So if you do have a raptor with a long jaw, try pushing it up and in. That might fix the problem. So these are a great assortment of figures. I'm so glad to finally see a tiger raptor, and super surprised and happy for Troodon, even though they kind of messed it up a tad bit, but that's okay. Nothing a little repainting can't fix, and maybe some 3D printing. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely check out my previous videos unboxing the Spinosaurus, and stay tuned for my other videos where I will be unboxing the rest of these Hammond collection figures and some of the new Rebirth ones. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.